Hello, this is Fred Amaran and welcome to EFC Plus, the college funding solution. Today we're going to talk about the EFC calculation. So we've had a few different things on the financial aid application process, and we had a previous on the EFC. But now we're going to talk about the actual calculation, which can be very different, and you have to understand the details of this to properly create your strategy for financial aid. So understanding the EFC calculation, everyone has the perception that it's one number. It's actually four separate calculations that generate what's called your EFC, or expected family contribution. That's really important to focus on. When you generate your FAFSA form or you complete it, they only give you one number. If you go out to the government's website on the FAFSA forecaster, it only gives you one number. To understand what each of your assets or income are worth, you really need to have all four quadrants. Our free calculator on our website does provide at least the two numbers, understanding the parent side, and when you have our premium product, it actually gives you all four quadrants for both methodologies. You need to know that to properly maximize your resources, the great myth of moving assets out of your child's name into your parent's name, not always necessarily the right decision for a variety of reasons, and we'll talk about that in a second. You also need to remember that this is going to change each year. So one of the big factors is number of children in school. That's why we do a 4-year cash flow. If you have a change in your financial position, you need to go back to the schools and explain that to you, especially if it happens after your tax year is completed. So these are things of understanding the EFC calculation and the details of it. The main reason why you need to understand that is the schools will only provide you information 1 year at a time. Having a 4-year vision of your EFC and what schools are on your list and what they meet of need will help you make a better financial and college affordability decision. So let me just explain to you how it's done. So as I said, there's four major quadrants or four major separate calculations that come together to be one number as what we call the EFC. And just remember that if you have a school that's using an institutional methodology or the CSS profile, this will be different school by school, where the federal methodology or the FAFSA methodology is the same number at every school. So there's parents' income, parents' assets, child's income, child's assets. And the biggest difference there is based on the family size and a few other categories. Why people make the statements of moving assets from the student to the parents is in the calculation, assets are weighted 20% of the value on the student side. On the parent side, they're weighted at 5.6% less, or prior to that calculation going in, an allowance based on the age of the oldest parents and how you file your taxes. So these are different factors and why that decision is made. What you need to do is understand the parent side of the equation and the schools you're considering before you can make the decision to move the assets. Absolutely critical to know that. As I said, you can see that we have a free calculator on our website. You need to go out and look at that. Again, my name is Fred Amaran. Thank you for joining us. And please look into joining us on our email list and also visiting our YouTube channel and signing up. Have a great day and look forward to the next video.